Governor Umoeno felicitates wife of Daba Isokari at 70, attributes his efficiency in service delivery to the Isokari family. Stakeholders from South-South Zone brainstorm on effective implementation of the Child's Rights Law. Plus, families in tears over demolition of houses in Ntaginyangitam by unidentified persons. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on NTA News. My name is Dianime Uko. This broadcast is reaching you live on StarTimes channel 103 and on our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Umoeno, has attributed his love for inclusiveness, integrity, thoroughness, and efficiency in service delivery to his early contact with the Isokari family. The governor made this known at the 70th birthday celebration of the wife of Daba Isokari in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Kelvin Samuel reports.
Recalling his growing-up days under the watchful eyes of the late Bishop Isokari, Governor Eno, who describes the wife of the late cleric as a mother with a large heart, appreciate the values inculcated in him and the love showered on him by the family.
We grew up there and they taught us public service. Some of you are still here. I remember the days in NAFCON. I was a very little tiny fair guy. Now my wife calls me Golden Boy. And I was always running around. We'll go home, we'll eat, mommy will take care of us. We'll stay together and she never discriminated. I'm from Akwa Ibom, but I'd lived here for a better part of my life.
Mrs. Daba Isokari is the widow of the founding pastor of Overcomers Ministry of Believers Fellowship, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. And the governor attended the birthday celebration with a state delegation. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Akwa Ibom State Deputy Governor Senator Akun Eyagenyi has charged the newly inaugurated executive of Oron Union to collaborate with the state government to help improve and drive home dividends of democracy. The state deputy governor gave this charge during a courtesy call on her office by the new leadership of the union. Kelvin Samuel again reports.
Congratulating the new President General Sir Esang Basi and his executive committee, the deputy governor reassures that the Umoenos-led administration is always ready and open to work with like minds to advance the development of the state. She encourages the new executive to emulate the all-inclusive nature of this administration by ensuring they unite the entire people of Oro nation by providing a peaceful atmosphere, shun destructive criticisms, abuse of public office holders, and similar vices that will hinder development.
But I want to assure you that he has put on ground a structure, security structure, to man or the waters and the land. Other than what the government is doing, we, as individuals, as a family, we owe our states, we owe our people to also play that same role.
Earlier, the board chairman and the president general promised to unite Oro as one indivisible entity where peace and justice will reign.
I have met with some ex-militants in Oro Nation, and they have promised to help for peace security in their waters and the villages. However, they say that they have issues with finances and unsettled bills by the state government. That the government is not talking to them. I feel I should draw your attention to this, to raise this issue during Security Council meetings, as I intend to equally draw the attention of the governor to it.
I am certain that as a keen observer of the happenings in Oro, you knew about last year's Union AGM and the election of the new executive. None of the people present here are strangers to you, Your Excellency. I'm sure you know most of them. So, this for me is a formality.
The theme were in the government house to introduce the new leaders of Oron Union to the deputy governor. From the government house, Kelvin Samuel, NTA News.
Away from the executive, let's head to the legislature, where 2 executive bills forwarded to the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly by the state governor, Umoino, for consideration and passage have scaled first reading on the floor of the assembly. Assembly correspondent Nsikak Okun reports that the 2 bills were received for legislation through a motion by the Chief Whip of the House, Effiong Johnson, and seconded by the member representing Etimekbo, Ika State Constituency, Mfon Idong.
The 2 executive bills forwarded to the House are a bill for a law to establish the Akwa Ibom State Infrastructure and Asset Management and Maintenance Agency, and for other matters connected therewith, and a bill for a law to establish the Akwa Ibom State Bulk Purchase Agency for the purchase of bulk commodities in the state, and for other matters connected thereto. The governor's message was presented on the floor by the clerk of the House, Nsikak Basiorok, where the governor urged the lawmakers to accord the executive bills the necessary legislative consideration and passage.
A bill for a law to establish the Akwa Ibom State Infrastructure and Asset Management and Maintenance Agency, and for other matters connected thereof. Pursuant to Order 702 sub 1 of the Standing Order of Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, I am forwarding the above bill for your consideration and passage into law.
The Speaker, Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Udemo Otong, pledged the commitment of the leadership and members to give the 2 bills accelerated consideration.
Infrastructure and Asset Management and Maintenance Agency and other matters connected thereof, and a bill for a law to establish the Akwa Ibom State Bulk Purchase Agency and for the purchase of bulk commodities in the state and other matters connected thereof. However, we have take those messages from the governor. We urge the House to give those messages an accelerated consideration.
Nsikak Okon, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 7 on NTA Channel 12. We will take a quick commercial break. More stories will come afterwards. Please stay with us.
One passenger, big auntie. Come and enter my bus now.
Hey, conductor, this cough is serious. Abeg, you need to go to the hospital.
Hospital?
Doctors say cough symptoms are different in every condition. Some are dry, others are wet, like your own.
God bless you, auntie. I have told this my conductor. The cough has refused to go, and it could be tuberculosis.
Conductor, check am o. Make you dey sure, because who no go, no go, no.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If your cough is more than 2 weeks, it could be tuberculosis. TB test and TB treatment are free. Just call the National TB Hotline on 3340 or dial *3340# for more information. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people.
Welcome to Prisma International Hotels, located at number 5 Efangosanga Street, Afara Fort, Overback Road, Uyu. When it comes to hospitality industry, nothing compares with comfort, exquisite services, and top-of-the-world security. These are what make Prisma Hotels a household name. At Prisma Hotels, you are assured of lavishly furnished, spacious rooms and suites with complimentary breakfast, top-class Blue Sea swimming pool, VIP and poolside bars, as well as restaurant where African and continental dishes are served at pocket-friendly rates. These are not all. There is high-speed internet service, closed circuit television, spacious car park, 24-hour power and water supply, sparkle laundry and dry cleaning services, and above all, combat-ready security operatives. So whenever you are in Uyo or you are a resident in Uyo, capital city of Akwa Ibom State, make Prisma Hotels number 5 Efangosanga Street, Afara Fort, Overback Road, Uyo, your choice, and you will cherish the experience. For bookings and inquiries, please call 081 3166 6660 or 0915 509 9989. Prisma International Hotels, hospitality par excellence.
One passenger. Big auntie, go enter this bus.
Ha! Oga conductor, this guy cough na serious matter. You suppose go hospital.
Hospital care.
Haba, doctors don talk am say different types of cough dey. Some na dry cough, but this your own na wet cough e be.
Big auntie, na God go bless you. I don tire for this my conductor and him cough wey no gree go. E fit even be tuberculosis.
Conductor, go check am o, make you dey sure because who no go no go know.
Check that cough for tuberculosis.
Check am o, make you dey sure.
If cough don't worry you past 2 weeks, if it be tuberculosis, TB test and treatment, na free. Just call the National TB Hotline for 3340 or dial *3340# to get better information. This message now from the Federal Ministry of Health with support from the American people then.
We all come back from that break. A review of the Child Rights Law, establishment of juvenile court and correctional centers for children, where they will be reintegrated into the society, formed part of the discourse at a 2-day training on capacity building for principal officers of State's Child Rights Implementation Committee in the South-South Geopolitical Zone. Emediong Umo reports.
At the building blocks of any nation, it is on this note that principal officers of State's Child Rights in Implementation Committee gather to brainstorm on ways to improve the welfare of children in various states for holistic data collation. Acting Director, Child Development, representing Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Ohaneye, acknowledged that some of the states have passed the Child Rights Law, hence the need for the stakeholders to get acquainted with the provisions as well as the operational function of the law.
Let's start with the National Child Rights Implementation Committee. It's part of the provisions of the Child Rights Act to ensure that stakeholders at all levels are carried along, just like this training we are holding now, is to build their capacity.
Can we synchronize the age of the child in our child rights law? Will the age be the same with the United Nations definition? Can we have stand-alone courts for the children, or do we synchronize it with the family courts that handles GBV cases?
And we felt that a starting point is to build their capacities, to initiate policies, to initiate programs, projects, and other activities that will promote and protect the rights of children.
Firstly, the first problem I think would be because of the economic state, like the state of the economy. Like, things are hard right now, so some parents will force their children to leave school and go to the streets, which is not good for them at this stage because they need their right now in this stage of their life.
The aim of the training, according to stakeholders, is to initiate policies, advocate the establishment of structures for children's welfare, among others.
Ensure proper implementation of the Child Rights Law in the states, and also improve on reporting of the state Child Rights Implementation Committee to the National Child Rights Implementation Committee.
What we want to achieve here today is to ensure that the Child Rights Implementation Committee at the state level is well equipped, with the workings of the committee. The committee is a statutory body set up by the law.
It is the hope of the people that child abuse, violence, neglect, and exploitation of children will be reduced to the barest minimum. In Uyo, Emediong Umo, NTA News.
No fewer than 63 residents have been rendered homeless in Ntaginyangitam community following the demolition of their houses by yet-to-be-identified persons. The incident has left members of the community in shock as the victims now take shelter in homes of friends and relations Clement Barikui reports.
It was a hot and calm Friday afternoon on 16 February 2024. The people of Ntaginyang Tam community were going about their lawful businesses when the unimaginable struck. Some men arrived the community with heavy-duty equipment and start pulling down houses.
We don't even know anything. We are just kept in the dark. And then you just wake up one day and come and destroy over 13 houses. You came with people with black and black. Mama ached with them, started mama acheting people up and down.
I was called that the house has been demolished, and I rushed before I got to the scene. The deed has been done.
And when I asked why the destruction, they said they had a court order, of which when I started this work, nobody had ever come here to tell me that there was a court case on any of the land, any of the parcel of lands here.
And so I'm just a ordinary keke rider, planning to at least let me raise a little thing. I can have my place to stay any moment I come back from work. So unfortunately, my landlord is here. I pay money for this land. It's not a stolen land.
Investigations revealed that the incident, which affected 13 residential houses, is as a result of land dispute between one Ima Edidemikoidem and Michael Sunday Tim, dating back to 2011. But why other residents are caught in the fight is a question begging for answer.
I was not aware that there was a case going on. The plaintiff never called me. The defendant never called me. The only thing I knew was when the Ikoriden family, or Tayebia Kuitam, came to me and gave me a judgment.
This place has different families. This the land of a contention, look at it there. That they had a court judgment, look at it there.
As at the time of filing this report, no government agency is said to be responsible for the demolition, while those the community is pointing accusing fingers at are not responding to the allegations. The victims are therefore appealing for the intervention of the state government to bring life back to them. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
To reduce maternal mortality rate in the state and country at large through family planning initiatives, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Uyo, has promised robust partnership with the Development Community Network. This was reached during a courtesy visit by the Development Community Network to the General Manager of NTA Uyo. Blessing Akban has the report.
The members of the Development Community Network, led by the State Coordinator, Mrs. Enobong Eshert, affirmed that there is an increased rate of maternal mortality due to unwanted or unplanned pregnancies, and this has ignited the intervention of the Development Community Network to save lives. They share their intention to collaborate with NTA Uyo as a credible and influential media platform to get a wider coverage and audience to spread the message of family planning and put an end to all the misconception behind family planning.
There is need to advocate on the uptake of family planning by Akwa Ibomites. And to do this, we need to collaborate with different sectors. And we have seen that media is one of those key sectors that we need to collaborate with if we need to have a wider coverage and a high uptake of family planning in the state.
The General Manager, NTA Uyo, Mrs. Alice Ugbe, said she will ensure that there is adequate publicity about family planning as a necessary action which affects the lives of young and future parents. She promises partnership with the Development Community Network, which she is optimistic will produce the desired results.
You can't have children more than you can afford to look after. The times are changing. I want to partner with this group to make sure that we advocate for family planning to come and stay.
This is the time to put in more effort because the situation of things on ground has made it easy for people who were not ready to listen to listen to you.
The general manager was later decorated as a family planning champion. In Uyo, Blessing Akpan, NTA News.
And it's a wrap on the news at 7 on NTA Uyo. Thank you for watching. My name is Dianime Uko. Up next is the news in Ibibio with Uwedimo Samson. Good evening.
Uriana Daiwuru Kara Kwaibum State Abu Yakme Ufara Wood Koron Union Nediana Kedi Ukara Kedi the Pendaga State Army. Adaiwuru Kara Kwaibum State Adara Ye Awan Daba Isokari Kausoro Usene Manamo Nahante New York Iswa Atam Medwood. Ebo Kibarawo Atam Mita Kentari Yang Itam Iniago Fogirong Aba Akwaibum. Miko mo nyang meru wemedi mo Samson yai kum membok nyan sini no mu foken dobre yomi. Etang ebanga edimanan sempom banga unen ntugoyen ye edisiak uforesup yem pakop ntugoyen koro usongeri dependaga uforon ntugoyen ke state ami. Ami eron nemeke kembono useniba ama komiti serem kwa banga unen ntugoyen eke tumo kikbege ame south yai kum bogomi mfon.
Mboka na miari ngoke ntokoyen edo ufuro iniso ntaka miena me ikpo wo esere mkpo ebanga ntokoyen ke mention sio state e mairi stere ribogo manatoro eneme ebanga me usong yedo na ekpena manatoro ntokoyen eni eti iniso ekamba wo sere mkpo ebanga ntokoyen akeda aga no ekamba wo sere mkpo ebanga dutum iban ke idanyen uju ohanenye ama tanga bontomi ke ntokoyen eni embed anangante mi kwa womi ediongo ebanga eboke neme eke neme ke bangami akedo musong medo nanga kwena manatoro ntokoyen ke nkan konyen eni etini so bien mekayete ntokoyen enywe kananyen ese ntokoyen mo ado idoronyen mo ke eya esio metme wem unyo ketu ntokoyen ye unie amo mi kuyo emedion mo akombak NTA.
Mbronam no ediong ebu kemponte ibarawu atam mitake irong ntakinyang itam iniege ufogirong aba kentak eke wuto ufogomo esio nko tutuomi awiriong ake wodong no ewud mufogomodo esio nko mbun eninga ke mufogoro ediba kentuanga yentairi yaiko mbogomio yo. Mbronam no ediong ebo kuwe me yo Friday o yosin ne freta Kofiong iba iswa 2024 nangante mbono weke kaka mention sion dubere mo ataka mbam pombaidem ama atape mbono wo emarong ntakinyang itam yemi po machin utum enyong itiong edi wood mufora wo nsiongo ndonganam no ediong ebo kampon tapedo ame akefanake ufok dubeta ado kentak anwani song ke uford owiba ima edi demi koridem ye Michael Sunday etam amem fanado ke tiongo ke kiswa 2011 adom ponta pemi aben newan kodi anam die wakabere mbono wo mfen amiedo mbime amem mbono wo ebapetu twiragami mbokanam no eriongo bo kena anteke na mandungo ebangam ponta pemi kirukara eno yo ebo yaga wood me ufok mbono wo mi esion nko kembon enyan nobok enyong nyam mibo kemmo ena motori na mami ado kembon eni nga kufok dubetami esunu yo ekurukara state ami ebo yagadi sunu wam inom mimo kebanga ke mutom kontepe ami ufok utum muswane top NTA yo enwong ediana kedie nkairi yonga kente de development community network namutum kedi kan bo kesugo enyonga tre mpanga asekeba kem otuiban irap Unyam to na nkare gena misang edinian neme ye rai guru fokutu muswane tip NTA uyo yaikum bogomi yo mbon ka eriong kente the Development Community Network ame mai no bong eshet adogo adai wood nkado anam no eriong ebo kempanga ase wak atai tieti ko tuiban irap ame moi segesanga irap kuna ironyen ye unambe ngirem uton takami anam no nka ami edakeda keringwam mbono won sio kemme utom fanami amoy mai tang bengirem ame moi niege kedidiana kedi ufakutumu swana itop entie uyo namutum keringwam keriswan metop kebangake usong nanga ekbenan dekpan enyong aitre memfanami ye musonga na antembono wo ekori wood mbemiso omoy tongo ubono mo kemiko mo adai woru fakutu muswana etop entie uyo ma ali sugbe ama bonko kimo imida ikpariba kerikanbo keswan metoboro manatoro mbono wo panakpan miwat edi ni ifiok ibanga mutom pome yusong edi tum ubono mo nofon anyengo maboki yaidiana kedienka Development Community Network kerikanbo kenkukremo akronen ke patre emamek adai wuru fakutu muswana etop entie uyo nte adaga ketu nkado mikuyo
Akwa Ibom ntembok nyan kendubre yo me trero nyang medu we medimo samson so songa kan pamutong asiere